So which version of Trump will show up at tonight's CNN presidential debate? Well, Caroline Sunshine is Deputy Communications Director for the Trump campaign. It is great to have you here. There's some wind at the former president's back with these polls that just came out showing him with a slight lead over Biden. So how does he solidify that tonight?
Well, President Trump is prepared tonight to fight for the American people. He's going to fight for Rachel Morin and the 5 children that she left behind. He's going to fight for Laken Riley, for Jocelyn Nungare, for the gentleman that our campaign saw this past weekend who said, "Sir, I am voting for you because I had to come out of retirement to be able to afford my bills and my medications." You know, President Trump is continuing to beat Joe Biden in battleground state polls, partly because of how he prepared for this debate this week, where he spent his time not retreating from reality, but being out directly with the American people, speaking to them, speaking to Rachel Morin's mother, and also listening to the American people. And it's going to be their concerns, their hopes, their dreams, their wants and needs that President Trump represents on that debate stage tonight.
Okay, so we know they have very different strategies that they are using to prepare for this debate. You know, a lot of people are going to be watching for the issues. A lot of people are just going to be watching for their performance on that stage. I mean, this is a Fox News poll on candidates' performance in the debates, whether it's extremely important to your vote. All voters said 30%, Democrats 24%, Republicans 37%. Everyone's going to have something they're watching for on that stage. So when it comes to Donald Trump, how can he win over an undecided voter?
Well, President Trump's going to do that by speaking directly to the American people tonight, which is the real audience. You know, our campaign heard reports that Joe Biden was preparing for this debate by practicing standing for 90 minutes. He was practicing the art of standing. That's what President Trump does every day that ends in Y across this country, speaking to great American patriots. President Trump is going to speak about his record. And to be clear, the real bar for Joe Biden tonight is not just standing on a debate stage for 90 minutes. Joe Biden is going to have to stand by his record. It is a record of a reality that he has created for the American people that they don't get to retreat from. The reality is the American people don't get to retreat when they show up to get gas and it's almost $5 a gallon, when the cost of a Big Mac is $7.49, which is an 87.7% increase from just 5 years ago. Joe Biden is going to have to stand by his record of giving free flights and free hotel rooms to illegal immigrants instead of helping the American people afford their rent and their mortgage payments. This is Joe Biden's record. This is what he's going to have to stand by on the debate stage tonight in front of the American people.
Caroline, the Quinnipiac poll is also, again, like some good news for the Trump team. Immigration, who do you trust more on extremely important issues? Immigration, Trump is up 55. On the economy, up 32. On Israel and Hamas war, up 16. And so he has that in his corner, and those are the two most important issues. But this issue of abortion is definitely on the minds of many Americans out there, and in some of the states, you'll actually have some referendums. Biden is up 43 on abortion. No doubt this is going to come up tonight on the CNN debate. Will we hear anything new from President Trump on that?
Well, I won't get ahead of the president, but I will say this. You know, this is often defined as a women's issue, but I'd like to speak about the border, right? You can no longer be pro-open border in this country and pro-women, and that's something that I hope gets brought up on the debate stage tonight. You can no longer be pro-open border and pro-women, and if we want to talk about supporting and empowering women in this country and protecting life, protecting the vulnerable, protecting women and children, this country has been turned into a war zone under Joe Biden, where the most vulnerable among us, young women, young children, are being raped and murdered, oftentimes in broad daylight on hikes, allegedly often by illegal immigrants who should never be in our country in the first place. So if we want to talk about life, we want to talk about women, we want to put those issues first, that's what we should be focusing on tonight.
It's interesting because there's a new ad that is out saying that exact thing, that Biden's policies are a nightmare for women when it comes to immigration. Caroline Sunshine, thank you. We'll be seeing you later.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.